Hey, cool kids. I wanted to take a quick break and tell you guys about Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. This is how all of Wash Media's podcasts are done, including Club Cool right here. It is so easy. It's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. And then Anchor distributes the entire thing for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. I'm sure you've heard of some of these other little platforms that maybe friends or family listen to. Anchor makes it easy. It just puts your podcast on all of them. You don't even have to think about trying to get it on each individual platform. And guess what else? You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. I have used other, platforms and apps to get this podcast out. Nothing has ever been as seamless or intuitive or as fun to kind of look at and play with as Anchor. So check it out. Makes it very easy. Anybody can put out a podcast and make money from it. So once again, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Welcome to the club.
Hey everybody, welcome back to a little Friday edition of the Club Cool podcast. I am your host, Barrett Dudley, here in the Washed Media Studios, brought to you by Washed Media, and joined once again by Phil Battaglia. Phil,
Hey,
what's going on?
happy to be back.
We're happy to have you back, especially now that you're double shotted up.
Double shotted, vaccinated.
And I'm not talking about the Starbucks canned coffee beverage.
No. See, I roll with Rambler energy drink.
You roll Rambler. You're a Rambler man.
Sparkling energy.
You are the Rambler man. I actually, I texted you the other day about the hot deal that was at Central Market for the Ramblers.
Yes.
I thought about stocking up. I really did. You don't see prices like that too often. I thought about just buying like 12 cases, just get stocked through the summer.
Yeah.
But I decided against it. I only bought 2 12-packs, one of the regular and one grapefruit.
You're a grapefruit guy.
I'm a grapefruit guy. That's that is my test of a sparkling water. Is of a flavored sparkling water? Is there grapefruit flavor?
So
It seems like the easiest one to do.
What's the one, LaCroix? It's called
Pamplemousse.
Yeah. Did you crush those at the Grand X office?
I did. But that was you got to realize that LaCroix was first.
Yeah.
And that's it. Then everybody was like, "Oh, we know how to make these things actually taste good."
Yeah.
LaCroix was really trash. But yeah, so we're double vaxxed and we're double Ramblers today. So that's you've got the new energy one. No more free advertising. You can stop talking about it. If anybody is listening from Rambler, you can get at us. We'd be happy to have you on board as a sponsor. Let's move some bubbles, shall we? But yeah, this is unparalleled commitment to the game. You are only on you got the shot yesterday. And here you are in studio.
I had to be here.
Live in person. And I'm just glad that you're not feeling sick.
No, I'm a little lethargic.
Yeah,
and I apologize if that comes to in my.
It's
tone.
okay. It's okay. Today we've got most of the content really just being provided by our lovely listeners. I did a little sourcing, what do you call that? I went to the crowdsourcing. Thank you.
There we are.
See, you're picking me up today.
Brain is working.
Crowdsourcing on the gram at Club Cool Pod. Saw what you guys wanted to talk about, and y'all had a bunch of good stuff. So we're going to cover some of the kind of the most popular topics that we got today. Yeah, that's about it for the intro. Anything else before we jump in here and just hit the ground running?
No, I did. I forgot to. I returned them so quickly.
The Todd Snyder pants.
Yeah, I was gonna bring them in, but I was like, I gotta get these out of the house. I look like such a buffoon.
Okay, you got. I think the listeners will know everybody saw that Todd Snyder catalog. It was really cool. It had all the Japanese fabrics and like indigo, French chore, work pants, chore jackets, everything like that. And you picked up the pants,
the Japanese
chore indigo chore pants.
And
tell us about them.
They looked so cool in the catalog. I was so excited. I was like, this is it. My first foray into the loose-fitting, relaxed fit. They're going to look great. I'll get them a little bit touched up at the tailor.
Yeah.
When I put those things on, when I got them out of the bag, I was like, nope, this ain't going to work. But I'm going to try them on anyway.
Because they were going to be too big?
They look like Jinkos. There's a 28 waist. I think it was a 30 length.
Uh-huh.
The waist was a little big, but it almost worked. But the size of those pants.
So they are baggy pants.
Yes. They had to have had those clipped in all those shots.
No, the product images even make it look like a skinny jean.
Right.
That was holding me back, is that they looked so damn skinny on the web.
Quite the opposite.
They're
huge.
Well, this is not. You haven't piqued my interest as much as if you had come and said they're perfect. I love them.
Yeah.
You got to see these. But you have. I mean, now I am potentially even. This is a different level of curiosity.
Now
here.
you want to see.
Now I got to see
thing.
About these things.
What them?
About them. What them?
The fabric is almost iridescent.
Okay, now I don't like that.
I was thrown off. They really fucked me on the catalog and on the product images.
What's Todd Snyder doing over there,
I don't know,
man?
But I don't appreciate it.
Yeah,
I do appreciate the free returns, though. That was nice.
That is nice.
There was a little shine to it, and that kind of threw me off. I'm sure you throw those things in the washer and they'll get better over time, but it was a disappointment.
Did you have anything else in your? Was it just the pants? Did you try anything else?
No.
Okay. All right, and there you have it. Not a green light on those.
The polos I would like to test out.
The search continues. Like the knit polos. Yeah. There's some good ones. You should look at on Canoe Club. They just got in some ones from Beams Plus.
Okay.
And it's a Japanese brand. Fits a little trimmer.
Yeah.
So they might be right up your alley.
Perfect.
Brand I really like too. Beams Plus, doing a bunch of good shit. A bunch of good short sleeve shirts out there as well from those guys.
Okay.
So worth checking out. Before we jump into these questions here, let's just plug the Patreon real quick. Patreon.com/clubcool. I don't know if you saw this, Phil, but last week I put out a little one of our a markdown pod, a little bonus pod that I do for our top tier, our fully loaded, extremely cool kid tier. And I used some of the footage from what I call the Lost Tapes. It's that podcast that we recorded in January that we never released.
I don't know if people really wanted that.
It had some good segments in it. That's the thing. It had a good segment where we talked about dunks.
Yeah.
And the saga continues with those things. I don't know if you tried for the Hawaii ones this morning, but they are.
It's an L?
Another L.
Yeah.
I haven't hit on a single pair of dunks through the sneakers app, I should say. But it's ongoing.
It's unfortunate.
It's never ending. You cannot win these things. So it was that's what the little podcast was about. I dropped some early thoughts on the for about 10 minutes, and then I played about 12 minutes from the Lost Tapes. So if you're interested to hear what hit the cutting room floor, that's in our top tier. I'm about halfway through our best shit of the month list right now. It looks like it's going to be under 80, 90, $100, somewhere in that range. That's everybody gets that, even our $2 tier. So check us out. We've got more coming. Patreon.com/clubcool. Great way to support the podcast. You ready to jump into these questions? Let's do it. All right. So I got 2 questions about this, and I'll just read them. How can someone with a J.Crew Basics wardrobe start integrating fashionable pieces? And then in briefer terms, how to graduate from J.Crew. So this is something that I think comes up every once in a while. And we've always been champions of J.Crew as like a great starting point. And in the early days of the pod, as we were talking a little bit more about graduating from like fraternity style, essentially from college style, J.Crew is was the natural next landing spot. It's the next lily pad in the pond, if you will. So it should come as no surprise that a few years down the road, now we're getting the question, well, okay, so where do I jump to next? What's the next step? And I thought about this for a little bit, and I jotted down some notes, and I'll try to articulate those here. The first thing that I would say is when you're shopping at J.Crew, just pick everything in a neutral color.
Yeah.
pick khakis and grays and blacks and navies and whites, and don't veer too far into any like, real wild colors. At least as you're building out that J.Crew basics wardrobe, right? You love the pocket tees. I've had a shit ton of what used to be called the Stanton shorts over the summers.
Cashmere's great.
The cashmere sweaters.
Priced right.
But when I think about like the stuff from J.Crew that I've moved on from, that I sold on Grailed or eBay or took to Buffalo Exchange, it's always stuff that was like louder.
Stripes,
brighter plaids, stuff that was like too holiday-y, a little too kitschy, a little too seasonal. I had like this like bright like citron green Oxford button down that I wore to a wedding once. That's that did not age very well. So I think color palette is really, really crucial. Even earthy colors, olives, that type of thing. Just because they lend themselves to pretty much wherever you want to go next.
Yeah.
So color is very important, and that's from the kind of the when you're building out that basics wardrobe, when you're continuing to shop at J.Crew for the building blocks. Okay. My next thing here would be J.Crew does have some trendier pieces. They do lean into a couple of like more fashiony items here and there. One that stands out is like this kind of like white twill denim-y chore coat that they have recently. It's like from their Wallace and Barnes line. That thing could be from any number of brands.
Right.
Yeah. Aime's doing chore coats. Todd Snyder's doing them. Snow Peak is doing them. Montfray has a bunch of vintage ones. Like Carhartt Whip is doing a chore coat. You know what I mean? So like they are, those things are all over the place, right? And that's a more fashionable piece. So it's from J.Crew. It's probably going to go with other stuff that you have from J.Crew. So that's kind of the next thing, is to really, comb through the new arrivals, comb through the stuff, and just find the places where J.Crew is leaning into the more fashiony areas and kind of capitalize, because that chore coat on various sales over the last several weeks, while it's listed at close to $200, can be had for much closer to $100.
Yeah.
So, the flip side of that coin, avoid where J.Crew leans into the stuff that you want to move on from. So when you start talking about J.Crew and like moving on to fashionable pieces, in my head that means that you're probably moving away from like the preppier stuff. And I pulled up J.Crew earlier this morning just to look at like new arrivals, and like they've got like a crazy patchwork like Madras button-up thing going on right now. Stay away.
Yeah.
Like unless like your next move is to Ralph Lauren and rowing blazers and like this kind of new wave of Take Ivy prep, then those are the things that you're avoiding, and that falls into the same conversation as like the color thing. Avoid the pastels and the bright, loud colors and the preppy stuff and the stuff that makes you look like you're getting on a boat in Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah.
And we can tie in Chet Hanks' rules of White Boy Summer to that as well, right? No salmon colored shorts, no boat shoes, no calling girl smoke shows. And then let's see, what's my next piece here? Okay, this is kind of now we can talk a little bit about graduating into the more fashionable brands and pieces. Pick brands that do kind of like that take a piece that you like from J.Crew, or that do the thing that you want from fashion, and they kind of specialize in something like that. That's kind of like an arm of J.Crew. You know what I mean? Like you can pull out these different threads from a J.Crew wardrobe and use them to go in a different direction.
Right.
So like the ideas that I have here, if you want to do like an elevated basics type look, then go shop brands like John Elliott or Uniform that do kind of like neutral palettes, modern cuts, but overall it's like elevated basic type stuff. It's the new building blocks of a wardrobe. Maybe you want to do that elevated prep thing. Well, Aimé Leon Dore, Noah NY, like those brands find a lot of their inspiration from like old school Nautica and Polo and that type of thing. So focus on those brands if that's where you want to go. Maybe you just want to move into like a graduated contemporary look. You should be looking at brands like AMI, Rag & Bone, that type of thing. And so I think it's about kind of like, you know, picking a lane basically, and then kind of going for that lane. So while you're still shopping J.Crew and adding to your wardrobe, you want to pick things that fall in line with that, and then you want to pick brands to move into that kind of identify with what you're going for as well. So I think that'll just make the transition more seamless and a little quicker, as opposed to just like being like, you know, me and saying, well, I like all this, so I'm just going to start picking and pulling from each of these brands and getting a little bit of this and a little bit of that, because then suddenly you got like a little bit of prep and a little bit of contemporary and a little bit of Cali basic type stuff, and none of it really goes with the other things, and so then you just need more. And so it takes more time and it costs more money, and your transition is longer and more difficult. So I think that's kind of what it boils down to, is kind of like picking the direction you want to go, and then building out your J.Crew wardrobe to go in that direction, and then picking the brands that fall in line with that direction. Would you have anything to add?
No, I think that you've covered it. The only thing I would add is that I like the reason I was and still am in the J.Crew school. I haven't fully graduated. Is for the basics. And like you were saying, what I will grab is like 2 of one color. They're gray, they're heather gray, or just a straight up gray crew neck pocket tee. I'll get 2 of those, 2 whites. And if they have something else that's like a faded black or something, not a solid black, that's like really, really black. And the reason I get those is just because you can screw them up, and they're still good quality. They'll hold up in the wash forever.
Yep.
Like this shirt I have on is from the Gap. It's probably 10 years old.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I'm not worried about it. I had to go put up a bunch of wine this morning, so if I had spilled something on me, not a big deal.
Yeah.
If I had on the Uniform LA basic or my John Elliott, I'd have some issues.
Right. Yeah,
So
totally.
And then another thing is, what I like to do is, even if I have on just a regular J.Crew gray pocket tee, is find like a nice pair of shoes or something that sets it off, or a jacket you can put something to layer on top that's not just, it's not all J.Crew looking. You know what I mean?
So that's yeah, I'm glad you said that, because that's actually where I was going to add kind of a similar idea. One thing that I remember doing a few years ago, as I was going through more of that, is I would try not to leave the house in like a full J.Crew outfit.
Don't do that.
If I grab like a J.Crew, you know, striped T-shirt that I really like, I try to go in it like, well, let me grab my shorts that aren't J.Crew, because then you look way less like you came out of the J.Crew catalog. Yeah, and that's how you start like kind of varying and your look and diversifying your style. Is kind of that commitment to. And that plays into like the whole like high-low thing as well, right? Like, you know, maybe you got your $25 J.Crew T-shirt, but then you go in with your more expensive shorts or your more expensive shoes or something like that, and those are the pieces that you're using to kind of like put that next foot forward. Yeah. I'm cruising the site once again, and it really is interesting, because there's like, it's just so interesting what the directions that you can go in from J.Crew. Like, I'm looking at they got a 9-inch short in garment dyed cotton and a bright like lavender purple. You know what I mean? That's going to go real well with your Madras shirt and your driving loafers. But at the same time, I can keep scrolling and get to like the tech dock short in a saturated purple, and like, man, you can throw on some court purple Jordan 1s with that, and like a tee from Uniform. There you go. And you got a whole new look going. So it is very versatile in that way.
Another little stepping stone that I did around, I'll never forget, the first vintage store I ever went in was like, I think 2002 or 2003, and it was in College Station. Okay. But what I'm getting at is incorporate vintage looks in place of the J.Crew stuff, because a lot of their button downs, a lot of their, you know, camp collar stuff, you can go find a more unique piece from a vintage store. Sure. Yep. That somebody else isn't, you're not going to be, you know, seen with somebody else wearing the same deal. Yeah, totally.
Cool. I think we got some.
I wonder how like Vineyard Vines and all them are doing. Like that ultra prep stuff. Are people still wearing that?
That's a great question.
I never
Southern
see it.
Tide, Southern Proper, Vineyard
Never.
Vines.
Never.
Yeah, it's definitely. I feel like it was, it was always regional, and it just kind of like spread.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's probably just kind of like pulled as that trend has kind of died out a little bit, and as that's a less popular, go-to style option. It's probably just still very regional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
bet if you're up in Cape Cod, you still see a lot more
Sure.
Vineyard Vines, right? That type of thing. But
when's the last time you were in the Cod?
Never. I've never been to Cape Cod. I don't think. Actually, maybe I have when I was much younger with
Really?
with
I've
the
never
parents.
been.
Yeah, but yeah, that's a good question.
They
I'm
call
curious.
it the Cod, Randy.
Okay. Well, speaking of prep, speaking of some of those brands and the preppier staples, we can use that to segue into another question that I got a couple of. And again, I got a short version and I got a long version. Short version, golf course looks.
Mm-hmm.
Longer version, cool golf stuff like Air Max golf shoes or Bill Murray shirts. How not to look like a dork on the links. All right, so I'm going to start with fit, because fit is what I think is the most important thing to looking good on the golf course. It's really, everybody plays golf differently. Everybody plays a different amount. Some people are out there 4 days a week. Some people play once a month. Some people play twice a year, right? So when what I mean by that is like as opposed to our casual wardrobes, you probably also have a different, varying degrees of a golf wardrobe. And for me, I have one pair of shorts that I like to golf in.
Yeah.
Because I golf, if I'm lucky once a month, it's usually not that. It's usually every other month or something like that. And they fit great. They're from Under Armour. They're navy blue, so they go with pretty much every golf shirt that I own. And I had to have them tailored because, as has long been an issue, for whatever reason, golf shorts are typically cut with like a 10-inch inseam.
Yeah.
A long inseam.
Yeah.
So I just found a pair that I liked that fit me everywhere else, and I just had them tailored. So don't be afraid to treat your golf clothes like you would your casual clothes, and like make sure they fit right. Get them tailored. Do stuff like that. I think when we were talking a couple weeks ago about some of these kind of these popular golf brands that have sprung up, I mentioned that I almost feel like golf clothes have become too fitted on the pros. And so I'd throw that in there. Like, you don't necessarily need to be in the Nike golf polo showing off the seps like Koepka out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, your golf shirt doesn't have to be that fitted. It doesn't have to be that snug.
Right.
You obviously don't want the whole 1990s like cutter and buck. Everything looks like it's a 2XL.
Cutter and buck.
Either. So it's you're finding a nice in between where your range of movement is good, but the sleeves aren't down past your elbows. You just want a nice, easy fitting, easy to swing, like, semi-tailored look out there. And you're gonna look good.
You're gonna like the way you look.
You're gonna like the way you look. But I feel like the biggest faux pas that I see out on the course are shorts that are too long and golf shirts that are too big.
Mm-hmm.
And you obviously don't want the flip of that either. You don't want to. I don't suggest being out there in like 4-inch chubbies.
Ooh.
And I don't suggest being out there in like a skin tight Lulu polo either.
Yeah.
So that's my number one. The second thing, one of our listeners mentions the Air Max golf shoes. I love those things.
Mm-hmm.
I really want a pair. I think they look sick. Jordan brand is obviously doing a bunch of cool golf spikes and golf shoes as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down with all that. At the same time, Todd Snyder is doing a really nice collaboration with FootJoy.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a bunch of old school stuff like the Bogey Boys, Macklemore's brand that we talked about, or Cricket, which we've mentioned several times.
Man, Bogey Boys. I said it before. I love that name. It's great.
And so we briefly touched on this when we talked about this a couple weeks ago, but I think you also have to pick a lane, because I don't necessarily think the old school golf and the very modern golf mesh well together.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it, you can probably get away with like an Air Max golf shoe and a Cricket polo, but really I feel like if you want to go, you kind of got to pick either like Caddyshack or like modern golf, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to go with the Cricket polos and the rope caps and like the random golf club type stuff, then like maybe you should be in the FootJoy Todd Snyder's. If you're more like the Malbon, whim golf guy, then yeah, get your Nike Air Maxes and your Jordans and your, and your more technical fabrics and kind of go in that direction. I've got a couple more things, but I want to give you a chance in anything you want to throw in here.
No, I would agree, and I think that you're about to mention.
Yeah. So I generally try not to just like straight up trash or badmouth any looks or any brands on this podcast, because that's not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to tell people that their style is trash. This is a helping podcast, people helping people. I'm big out on William Murray Golf.
Big out.
And I feel the same way about Travis Matthew.
Okay.
Travis Matthew had a nice run.
Mm-hmm.
They had the cool, like the mesh trucker caps that everybody had with the little circle patch logo. I still have one. It's a great hat. But both of those brands, to me, they look, they're trailblazers in their own right, kind of, because they kind of paved the way for some of these other brands that we're mentioning to be like, okay, yeah, let's push the envelope. Let's push the direction of golf clothing and gear out of like this conservative fuddy-duddy nature. Like, we can get crazy, we can get wild with golf stuff, we can get fashionable with it. But the fashionable piece is where these other brands have picked up and moved it forward. Bill Murray Golf and Travis Matthew Golf was always like a half-assed step in that direction. The prints are not very good. They're very loud. And to that end, it makes you look like you were like. It looks like stuff that wives are buying for their husbands because they're like, oh, that's a fun golf shirt.
Well, Bill Murray's thing was.
Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
That was owned by the Chive.
Yep.
So I have a feeling that is the direction, or they had some. I don't know if they had any influence on the direction of the design, but they kind of, when you get in bed with a brand like that is geared or skewed towards comedy. But it's Bill Murray. But a lot of those aren't like funny shirts. They're just a bad attempt.
Yes, that's really that's what I mean. Is that it's somewhere in the middle. You can tell that they were trying to be fashion, but like let's just pull this guy up. Like, this is awful.
Man, that is bad, isn't
it? and so this stuff with the Madras tipped, it's
keep going. Let's keep.
They just had these ideas like we can be the fun golf brand, but it's like I don't know.
It's almost
man.
like Chubby's, isn't it?
It's yeah, but not even at least Chubby's prints are well designed.
Mm-hmm.
This is so loud. The colors are yeah.
Look at Bill.
Like you said, it works on Bill Murray because he's Bill Murray. Like, he's got that vibe. Like, he's funny old dad Bill Murray.
I had a question about a brand that has a lot of good going for them, Malbon.
Yeah.
What's the fit? Do you have one of these? They're polos?
I don't, actually.
Do you know anything about the fit?
I believe that I think it's going to be slim but not tight.
Okay. They have sold out of a lot of stuff.
They do. They do sell out of quite a bit. I want to pull up Travis Matthew because to be fair, I haven't actually looked at Travis Matthew in a while, and I think their stuff is far less egregious to me than the Bill Murray stuff. This is, but again, it's like this type of stuff is for if you're a guy around our age, this stuff is not meant for you. Basically, this really is meant for 50-year-old guys who think that they want to like have fun golf stuff. Not 25, 30, 35-year-olds that actually want like, hey, can my golf stuff be fashion? Yeah. Can my golf stuff be like really cool, good-looking, well-designed stuff? So that's I am gonna pick that bone here with Travis Matthew and William Murray Golf because I just I want to separate those brands from the conversation of these other cooler golf brands that we're talking about because it's different. It's different stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Where did you
go
want
up?
me to
There
go?
was a shirt that wasn't that bad. Down. It's like a salmon color on the right. There.
Yeah, right there.
Pretty basic.
Yeah, and again, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want some basic golf stuff from Travis Matthew, go for it. I just don't think that it's the right brand to shop if you want golf fashion.
Yeah, I got you.
Is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. For that, you should be paying attention to, to the variety of brands that actually did take that step. We've named a bunch of them, and it's all over the place. The golf culture and golf stuff as fashion. The fashion. You remember that episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm?
No.
Oh God, it's so good. Anything else that I wanted to say here? Oh yeah, I was just going to add to the end here. Like I said, William Murray and Travis Matthew kind of tried to push in that direction, and then a bunch of other brands picked up that ball, ran with it even further. But then all the other brands that were already making this stuff, like Nike and Ralph Lauren and Puma and those brands, they all picked up this. They all picked up their game as well. I feel like I look at I think we're very in tune with Nike. Their golf stuff looks great.
Yeah, it does. Some of it's not great, but there's some stuff that is great.
Yeah. And Puma does some stuff that I don't love either, but they've really put their design team on it and have gone with some crazy looks. And how can we forget Ricky wearing joggers out there several years back?
Man, remember that?
Yeah, and the big high top Puma golf spikes. Yeah, it was a look. It was a look, not one that I suggest.
Somebody else tried it out there, I think.
Yeah. There's still a couple of golfers out there that I think wear the joggers.
Man, Nadal pushes the limits on the shorts, on the
tennis side.
Yes, and he also was a big capri pant guy for a long time. And he was constantly all he does out there is play incredible tennis and then pick wedgies. Constantly.
He is. Yeah, I appreciate that though because it's like. He knows he's on camera.
Yeah.
He knows he's a star. And the only thing that matters is playing good tennis to him. He doesn't care if he picks his nose or picks his wedge.
Yeah. And he's got a Richard Mille watch.
And he's got a Richard Mille on while doing it. You got to respect that.
Yeah, I do. Believe me.
He is he zero vanity when he's out there on the court.
Uh-huh. The capri pants were great.
Have you ever noticed how Nadal he's got major tennis arm?
Yes.
Where he's lefty, right? This is left dominant.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So his left arm is way more toned and jacked than his right arm.
Yeah.
That seems to be what's happening to my calves, Phil.
Your calves?
Yeah, yeah.
How?
I don't know. My left one is just straight up atrophying. I don't
you
know
have
what's going
great
on.
Calves.
Not anymore, man. The pandemic has taken it from
me.
Good.
I'm happy to hear it. Welcome to my level. Come back down.
I've been in the gym trying to get these legs back on deck, but it's not easy.
Man, some dude came into Tom's months ago that had just had calf implants. Now that is taking it too far.
There was a dude who was on the mat section, on the kind of ab stretching section yesterday. I did at the EQX. I think he had calf implants. There's no way.
The scar is very noticeable.
Okay, so he was wearing 3/4 tights.
There you go. That's probably why.
And they were, when I wear 3/4 tights, it makes my calves look slimmer.
Mm-hmm.
I like the look, but recently it's geez, chicken leg city over here. And his calves through the 3/4 tights were just bulging melons. It was.
Yeah. Maybe that's what he did over the pandemic.
Well, he probably saw what was happening down there and said,
"Yeah, I can't have this.
I can't have this. I gotta remedy it." Okay, we've got some more. Let's take a quick break. Hear from a sponsor. Wouldn't it be great if there were a pocket-sized guide that helped you sleep, focus, and just all around be better? Well, guess what? There is. And if you have 10 minutes, Headspace can change your life. Headspace is your daily dose of mindfulness in the form of guided meditations in an easy-to-use app. It is one of the only meditation apps advancing the field of mindfulness and meditation through clinically validated research. So, whatever the situation, Headspace really can help you feel better. Are you overwhelmed? Are you stressed? Headspace has a little 3-minute SOS meditation for you. Maybe you need some help falling asleep. Headspace has wind-down sessions that their members swear by. And for parents, Headspace even has morning meditations that you can do with your kids. Their approach to mindfulness can reduce stress, improve sleep, boost focus, and increase your overall sense of well-being. I'm on the app right now. You just click whatever button you need. Do you need to feel just a little bit of calm, a little bit of peace? Check out Meditate. Maybe you're feeling a little insomnia. You're tossing and turning. You're thinking about what you have to do tomorrow. Hit the sleep button and go through any one of their sleep casts or wind downs, the nighttime SOS, maybe a little music or a soundscape to lull you right to bed. They even have workouts. Check out the Move section. They have a stress release workout, a workout to help with anxiety. And then you get over to Focus. This is my favorite part because you can click on Arcade Fire's playlist. Or how about one that Hans Zimmer put together? And these are playlists that are designed specifically to help you focus on whatever the task at hand might be. It's pretty awesome. There's something for everybody and everything and every situation. It's backed by 25 published studies on its benefits, 600,000 5-star reviews, and over 60 million downloads. Headspace makes it easy for you to build a life-changing meditation practice with mindfulness that works for you on your schedule, anytime, anywhere. You deserve to feel happier, and Headspace is meditation made simple. Go to headspace.com/clubcool. That's headspace.com/clubcool for a free 1-month trial with access to Headspace's full library of meditations for every situation. This is the best deal offered right now, so head to headspace.com/clubcool today. All right, Phil, we are back. You ready for a few more questions?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Let's keep it going. All right, here's one. Haircuts.
Ooh.
I tried to get a modern mullet today, and it turned out terribly. Now, what do you think a modern mullet is?
Our good friend Bush, who lives across from Tom's, comes in all the time. He has a modern mullet, and he pulls it off beautifully.
Okay. Is this kind of what we're?
Yep.
This is what we're?
Yeah.
Yeah. So short, right at the sideburns.
It is not as long in the back, I guess. See, that's a mullet on the top right.
Yes, yeah.
So if he were to cut that back, the bottom there and there,
so the other version, what I think of the modern mullet, I also think of the baseball guys.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do baseball guy haircut. Yep, and
that's it.
That's it. So,
but there's always point. It goes to a point in the back.
Yes.
Every single one of them.
They go shorter further.
They fade it more.
They fade it more to the back.
Points.
Yes. Yep. That's exactly right. Who our guy?
Like Judge. Judge is one. He has. There he is.
Yeah. Yep. Springer. He was a big proponent of this.
Where's he at now?
Toronto.
Huh.
And then there's a golfer who's doing a version of this as well. Cameron Smith out of Australia. He's really letting this. Now, I mean, he's going almost vintage mullet.
That is a mullet. Yeah.
Really. That's. I don't even know if I would call that the modern mullet.
No.
Well, just to speak to the modern mullet first here, because I can point to it on athletes, that means it's probably hard to pull off.
Yeah.
If baseball guy is doing it, and if Cam Smith is doing it, I don't know. It just kind of a Mark Weisstrack thing too. Hasn't he kind of done a modern mullet as well?
You have to have. You don't have to, but I think it works a lot better if you have something going on with your facial hair too.
Yes.
Not like chops, but keep it like dirty. Because
it's kind of a dirty look.
Yeah.
It's kind of a grungy vibe.
But again, Mark if he's doing it. He's going to look incredible, so it's not something that everybody can pull off.
Because it's baseball guys and one golfer and Mark from Midland who has you need a very specific look.
Yeah.
This is not going to. It's not a versatile hairstyle.
Yeah.
You can't suddenly put on your Sunday best and this is going to work seamlessly with with your business casual outfits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you kind of have to commit to something, whether you're a baseball dude and you're like going heavy into the streetwear, or you're 70s country guy or something. You kind of need a look that works with that hairstyle. Mm-hmm. So I mean, you know, I know you say it turned out terribly here, but it'll grow in a couple days, and I bet you'll feel a little bit better about it. But you will, like, as you're going out and kind of like doing things with this haircut, I feel like you're going to want to gravitate towards clothing that makes a little more sense with it. So, you know, khaki shorts and an Oxford button down probably is not it. Although maybe that's what Boosh is doing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah. He's working it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was even you know, we've talked about the TikTok hair, the front hair. I don't know, Randy, does that hairstyle have a name? It's the TikTok haircut, right? E-boy. It's an E-boy. That's what it is.
Randy's like the guy from, what's that movie with the two dudes that were in Clerks? They directed Clerks.
Jay and Silent Bob?
Yeah, he's like Silent Bob. You ask him something, he just shrugs.
I even feel like the E-boy haircut is more versatile than the modern mullet.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I've been growing mine out more and just.
What do you think? Any direction for your hair that you're thinking of? Like, did you get a haircut recently?
Week or two ago, 2 weeks. What I've been doing, this is gonna sound gross, but I wash it less.
Yeah.
With shampoo, I mean water, sure. But the more oil you have in there, I don't ever put any product in my hair.
It's just all natural. That au naturel product.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in no man's land, man. Honestly, I had the really long hair, and then I went short last year finally, and going to get a haircut is more of an ordeal now, and I don't like at this point, you know me, I'm vaxxed up. I'm like, get this fucking.
Yeah, you're going to the club. Anti-masker.
But I don't know. It's just like, it's not an experience that I really look forward to anymore, I would say.
Yeah. And
I also I was never comfortable with the idea of like being able to actually see what the hair was looking like while I had a mask on. There's, you know, the first haircut that I got in the pandemic last year was the best one that I got.
Wow.
And then after that, it's like, I don't know. I just felt like I didn't feel like the experience was at 100%. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I've just been kind of like letting it do whatever, but I don't really like the shape of my hair right now, and I don't really know what to do with it. And as you could see on our reel, like I can't do the middle part because I get no volume. Just flops down on my head.
Grow it out, dude.
So
that's what I've been saying. If I had straight hair like that, I'd grow it out.
Yeah. So we'll see. I still kind of have this. I semi have the urge to go like bleach blonde buzz cut.
Uh-huh.
Did I say that right? Bleach blonde buzz cut. It's a tongue twister. So, you know, Scott Disick was doing this.
Really?
Let's see if I can pull this up.
The Lord. You know, Mark Aru has cut his hair from Midland.
Oh, has he?
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, I hate Scott Disick. I don't like him.
Okay. For the record.
Just as an overall statement, but you know, he is a source of some fashion inspiration here and there, and I you know, there's nothing I can do about that.
Right.
Okay, so here he was. Here's a photo of him, but this has grown out a little bit.
He looks like Adam
Levine.
So,
but then I saw a picture of him that was probably a week after this, and if you're not constantly bleaching it,
yeah,
it grows out so fast, and then you look like a porcupine, and it's not good.
How old is his girlfriend?
It's very not good. I think she's like 19.
Damn.
So I'm back out on that.
Yeah.
I won't do that. I am tempted to go buzz cut, but I don't think I have the I don't think I have the face for it anymore.
There's got to be a modern buzz cut.
My face is too jaunty at this age. I feel like you need a little bit more not weight. You don't need to you don't need additional weight, but you need like, I don't know. You just need that healthy.
You're unhealthy right now?
Meat in your face. I don't know, man. I feel I don't know.
Yeah, nobody's 100% right now.
Yeah, my face. I feel like I'm gaunt a little bit.
No, you're good, man. You just got like a good jawbone.
Yeah. So, yeah, I got nothing for this.
You'll never dye your hair again.
You don't think?
No.
Are you trying to push me to do it?
Yeah.
The biggest reason why this still hangs over my head is because I didn't do it right the first time.
Right. That was a bad experience.
Because I did not go all the way. I pussed out, basically.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, no, don't bleach, no bleach. You have to bleach. You have to bleach.
The good thing with the bleach is you can do both of these things. You'll bleach, keep bleaching, and then once you're sick of it, you buzz.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I saw a picture of a dude with longer bleached blonde hair and then regular dark scruff, and I didn't like that either.
No.
I feel like you got to keep it more clean shaven.
Yeah.
When you have the bleach blonde.
Uh-huh.
We'll see. You know, I feel like I'm gonna get more sun than I got last summer.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm gonna get my goal, summer 2021 goal is to get a tan. That's my goal every summer.
Yeah.
I failed on it like the last 3.
Uh-huh.
It's happening this year.
Okay.
It's got to. And then we'll see. Then I'm gonna revisit the bleach.
You got any vacations planned?
How about that?
Or what?
No, but we're looking into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tulum. Can't
I
recommend.
heard Tulum is so crowded that nobody even goes anymore.
Ooh, I hate that.
So I don't know.
Tulum's out.
I honestly, I think you caught the tail end of Tulum. I think it is truly.
That sucks.
It's basically just Cancun now. It's what that is what I hear. That is what I hear.
Well, you fly into Cancun.
Right, I know. So I don't know if there's like a Senor Frogs there or anything, but like
no.
there are bars that are there are scenes that sound like they have become the equivalent of that.
It's kind of like instead of Senor Frogs, there's like moody yoga crews. You know, if you know what I mean, like instead of like a party crew, it's that takes partying to the extreme. It's the yoga crew that takes that whole lifestyle to the extreme.
Is Tulum HPO?
What's that?
Hot people only?
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I do love a scene.
I know you do.
So
Tulum's a scene.
But I want it to be a burgeoning scene.
Oh, right.
You know?
Yeah. Okay. Todos Santos.
Okay.
That's a burgeoning scene. Now we're just going to blow it up. Yeah.
We'll have to talk off mic.
All right.
Yeah. I don't want to blow up the spot any more than
we'll do a vacation episode.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Next question here. Moving into a new house, looking for tips on art, rugs, key items I might not think of. All right. I know this comes up all the time. I hope we're not beating a dead horse with this topic, but I have some new questions and some new thoughts here. So I want to revisit here. First, I want to talk about art because your boy is struggling with the art.
Yeah, it's hard.
We still have nothing on the walls.
It's hard,
and I hate it because every time I see places that I love, like and I'll shout Alex Delaney. He used to be at Bon Appetit. He's doing his own thing now, but like he has he's got some little slides of here. I'll pull it up. He has so much stuff on his walls. And that's a common thread, I feel like, in places that I like, is that they just have
maximum.
They have killer art. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Here I'll pull this place up, and just cool stuff. And so, oh wait, that's not what I meant to do. Here we go. This is an issue for me for a couple reasons. One, I don't have anything that's like a starting point. I don't have one thing that I can like build off of even. And then the second thing is I'm just finding it really, really hard to shop for because, and I don't know if that's because there aren't any art shows anymore and like exhibits are closed and that just hasn't sprung back to life yet. But you know, I'll come across prints that I like and stuff online, but they're from this website or that website, and it's like there's no artist tied to them.
Yeah.
And I don't know where they came from or what the story is. And it's like, I want stuff that I can at the very least say, oh yeah, so and so did that.
Right.
It doesn't have to be a name that you recognize or know or that they ever did anything else. But at least I can say, oh yeah, some, creative in her Dallas basement like does these little charcoal things, and I got one.
Yeah.
You know what? Like if it's on the wall, I feel like you should at least be able to say a couple sentences about it beyond.
Some website.
I found this on
Prince.com.
Prince.com.
Yeah. That's our issue too. Is we've put off the stuff on the wall for so long because I want it to be perfect, if not perfect, but something that, like you were saying, has more meaning to it. But one thing that we're going to end up buying, and this is another avenue to take, instead of going for a painting or some sort of art print, go for a really cool photo. And a couple of sources for that. I hate the name of this, but it's called Austin Modern Rocks Gallery, modernrocksgallery.com. And it is centered around photography of musicians, but they're cool. They're signed, they're numbered.
Okay.
They have a lot of meaning to them. They have stories behind them. And they're not too cost prohibitive. Now, depends on how big of a print you're getting, or if it's on the rarer side.
Sure.
That's a great one. And then also San Francisco Art Exchange is another website, sfae.com. Same vein. It's all about musicians and photography, and you can go down this rabbit hole for hours. They've got so many options.
Yeah, this looks cool.
And again, they're
sfae.com. Easy.
Yeah, they're you would like to think that all this stuff will appreciate over time. It's not some rare painting, but still, they're very cool, signed and numbered.
I got targeted some ad, I can't remember if it was Instagram or just online, about this. It was basically an art investment agency, and you were basically investing in like modern works of art. You don't get any art because it's obviously like a group buy type thing, and I've heard of other variations of this. I think there's even sneaker versions of this. But you're investing in like a Banksy or something like that, and it's like buying a Bitcoin. You don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin anymore, and it's like outperformed the S&P by 400%. So I don't
care if I can't put it on my wall. But at least let me have it for a week.
The growing asset class is interesting as well.
Yeah.
So
this brings us to NFTs.
Yeah.
What is that?
What is an NFT?
I mean, we've gone over this before.
It's a non-fungible token.
I don't understand it. I don't get it. It seems like we could come up with one in this room. That's what I really.
I think we could.
Yeah.
I don't totally understand it either. But it's provocative. It gets the people going.
Yeah. I just feel like that is a trend that is going nowhere. Oh man, can't wait to hear this episode in like 5 years where that's like everybody's millionaires.
Yeah, on off NFTs. Rugs are easy. These are all over the place. You can find so many vintage Turkish rugs on Etsy or Rejuvenation. If you want a washable one, go to Ruggable. I mean, even Target has some cool rugs.
Yeah.
I feel far less, the rug has to be perfect. We've picked out rugs from West Elm before. Like if you want something that's we've got like it's not burlap, but it's that jute woven type stuff.
We have one of those.
Yeah, it's rugs feel easy. You can pretty much, I don't know, they just seem all over the place, and you don't have to. It's great if you have like a vintage Turkish or Oriental rug, right? Like, oh, this is from so and so. It's 100 years old or whatever. But new rugs are great too, and they're all over the place. What do you think about this idea? Go to Zillow, look at the nice listings.
Yeah.
Or like you post your photos from some of the crazy cool real estate spots that you're touring or showing or have some connection to here in Austin. and just like click through the rooms and like pick up the style tips, see how they've staged it, what they feel like is important to show potential buyers. And I feel like that might give you some tips of, okay, well, this is the stuff that I should have to make my place look presentable, essentially.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I like that.
Yeah. Any other key items? I feel like shelving is big. I feel like floating shelves are big right now, or the ladder shelves, the stuff that kind of like leans up against the wall.
That's less committal. The floating shelf, you got to put some big holes in the wall, and that always freaks me out.
For anchors, stuff like that? Yeah.
Another thing, I say this so often, and it's exhausting for some of y'all I know, but plants. That's the easiest way to warm up a house or a condo or an apartment or whatever.
And then I just want to throw one thing out here too. Think about I feel like space is important. Just how do you utilize the space in general? One issue that we're having right now is we have I guess it's a sectional. No, it's not a sectional. It's an L-shaped couch. One side of the couch has like a longer piece. So it's essentially an ottoman, a built-in ottoman basically, right? It's an L. In our current space, where our living room is very small, we can't fit a regular size coffee table. We need a new coffee table, but they're all 4 freaking feet long. Yeah, and that's not going to work. I need like a 32-inch coffee table, and I can't find one. And so I don't know if you're when you're shopping for furniture, you also got to think about the other furniture, and I just want to throw that out there because. It might be helpful. But think about if you're picking a couch, think about the type of coffee table you want. Think about where the TV is going to go, and do you want it mounted, or do you want it sitting on an armoire, or whatever those things are called. Console. Yeah.
Another thing to think about with the coffee table that we have done in a small space is a clear coffee table, either glass or acrylic.
That's what we have right now, but it's a crappy one from Urban Outfitters, and it's like lost all of its stability. Yeah. So it's just a shaky mess now. Yeah, it's not good. Pay attention to if I know I'm going to pitch Patreon here again, but we throw some pretty cool house stuff on our list every once in a while too. There was a really cool looking vase. I don't know if you saw. One of our listeners picked it up. He posted a picture of it in the cord.
Oh, from Hay?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Looked fire.
Fantastic.
So, some good stuff there, and I hope that was helpful. I'm gonna keep trying to work on the art. I'll report back in a few weeks and let you guys know if I had any luck. All right, you ready for a little lightning round?
Yeah.
Quicker questions. Okay. Aprons in the kitchen. Canvas ones from Filson. Too much, but check out Headley and Bennett. I wanted to use this. I really want an apron, but I'm overwhelmed by decision, by choice. So many options out there. Do you wear an apron at all?
No.
I am in the kitchen so much at this point.
You're a chef.
I am a chef.
What's that brand? It's just the and symbol.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Ampersand? That's what the symbol's called,
well,
right?
That's I think that's what a lot of the people on Top Chef wear. I don't know. I could be.
I know you like making pizzas. Can I tell you what I picked up recently that changed my whole perspective on shit?
Tonight. Go ahead.
I didn't have a dough roller, Phil. Oh. I didn't have a roller, a rolling pin.
Yeah, that's necessary.
I got one on Amazon. It's just like the Mulo wood, MULO. I went with the full cylinder, not the French. I'd been pressing out my pizza dough. I had lumpy messes of pizzas.
No good.
It would take me 20 minutes to get it stretched out to like 9-10 inches.
You tossing?
No. I got this bad boy. I'm rolling dough out in 2 seconds, getting it perfect shape, laying it down, getting my toppings on there. It was life-changing. Anyway, if you making pizzas is very easy, but you do need a rolling pin. Pro tip: go to the prepared section of your grocery store, especially at like a Central Market or a Whole Foods or something like that. And they might have fresh pizza dough that they can.
That's what we usually
give you.
It's frozen, but it's cauliflower pizza dough crust.
Yeah.
Just plain.
Yeah, there's some in the frozen section
It's
too.
good.
But they might have some
Yeah.
if you're making in the next few nights. The all day crossback apron.
The brand is Headley and something.
Headley and Bennett. That's the one.
that's
that
what you're talking about.
that's the one that was suggested.
Yeah,
So that's what I need, huh?
that's it.
Okay.
They've got a lot of options.
All right. Headley and Bennett. If you need an apron, I need one. This was an apron for the kitchen was like high on my birthday list, and then I
Wow.
could never tell anybody what I wanted, and so I didn't get one.
What a great gift.
Yeah. Here's a suggestion for us: Club Cool Wine and Painting Night. Except we all paint white Air Force Ones.
I like that.
Randy, jot that down for the first washed media meetup,
Yeah.
and I'll talk to the money guys. We'll see if we can just get like 10 pairs of white Air Force Ones there.
I'm sure it's in the budget.
It's got to be. Okay, here's one. Why do only hoodies get the front pocket? Why can't I get a crew neck with a big front pocket?
I've seen one.
I've seen them too.
Mm-hmm.
I've done no searching. I've done no Googling for this, but I do want to answer the question. It's a balance thing. You get a little kangaroo pocket in front. You got the hood in the back.
Yeah.
They aesthetically and physically, like weight-wise, they kind of balance each other out. I don't like a kangaroo pocket on a crew neck because I don't know. It's just weird. It's also just one of those things, like, it makes sense with the hoodie. I don't know if it makes sense with the crew.
No. The one I've seen was not as baggy of a kangaroo, but it was still there, and it was a little awkward.
I think Will DeFries has one of these. Ame did like a rugby with a front pouch pocket like that. And it was interesting, but I don't know. A hoodie compared to a crew neck, it's kind of, it's like one step closer to a piece of outerwear.
Yeah.
And so you get a little extra storage.
Mm-hmm.
A crew neck is just a heavier long sleeve T-shirt.
Yeah.
So no storage for you.
You will get no pocket.
But like you said, I have seen these before.
Yeah.
So you just got to keep your eyes peeled, and one will pop
I
up.
love a kangaroo a hoodie. That's why I like a hoodie, is because it's nice and comfortable to keep. Somewhere to
cozy.
put the hands. It's not your pockets.
Right. But you're bundled at the neck.
Yeah,
you
it's
get
great.
whole shebang. Phil, did you see the Adidas South Park Towelie collaboration?
No.
Okay.
Is it a towel?
Surely. No. But I'll show it for you, and I just want to give you a quick anecdote here. We didn't talk about this because I didn't really realize it was coming up.
Nice.
A couple weeks ago. It's an Adidas Campus, a model that I love. It is rendered in purple, like terry cloth, just like Towelie from South Park, and it's got little eyes on the tongue, which, when exposed to either like light or warmth or something or
smoke,
I don't know, but they turn all pink and bloodshot.
I like those.
So I was very excited by this shoe. And it cost $100, and it popped up on I'd never even gone on the Adidas Confirmation app. It's their version of sneakers to apply for a single shoe. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not going after Yeezys anymore. Like, I didn't do any Bad Bunny Camp Forum 84 sneakers. Like, I've been out on any quote unquote hyped Adidas for a long time, but I'm a lifelong South Park fan. Mm-hmm. Towelie, all time, character from the show.
Yeah. And
I figured, these should be easy to get. I'll enter the draw for these. Mm-hmm. I entered a couple raffles for them, and so I was something. Oh, they're raffling these. That's interesting. Well, they'll probably pop up at a bunch of shops that they'll pop up on No Tray or wherever, and be able to grab them. No, this is the hottest shoe that Adidas has released in many, 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 many months.
Wow.
This thing was reselling for over $400.
Really?
I did not hit on the Confirmation app. I did not hit on the in-person raffle that I went to Nice Kicks to get a ticket for. I did not hit on any of the online raffles that I put in for. And I'm kind of shocked.
Yeah.
I've been a proponent of the Campus and Gazelle models forever, and nobody's ever oh, hell yeah, dude, it's a great shoe. And South Park is 30 years old, man. It's a millennial shit.
Everybody's out on millennials.
Yeah, people, we're the old dumbasses now, basically. What I don't know why this.
It's a sleeper.
I'm surprised that this shoe was such a hit. I did not expect this at all. But it was. So I like them. They're cool. They are very cool.
I like the packaging too. Go to that box.
Yeah, and but I had when I saw the shoe and was like, oh, cool, yeah, $100, I'd fuck around with these. I had no idea that they were as hype as they are. And it was tied to 420 release, all that. I don't know. I guess maybe weed is hot, so these were hot.
You know what's hot? Delta 8.
Okay, I've been hearing about this. There's a coffee shop down the street from me called Radix, and they are pitching the shit out of Delta 8.
Sunriser did a Delta 8 release on 420.
Have you tried Delta 8?
No, but I've heard it's weed. It's one strain separated from Delta 7.
But I've heard that it is not a psychotropic. It's only like a physical body type high.
Okay, that makes sense.
But I don't know. Radix keeps sending. I think I have a 20% off discount. Do you know is it expensive? I'm going down there. I'm gonna get some Delta 8. I might do that today.
Yeah, you better tread lightly, my friend.
Well, I know the rule of thumb. Take a half. Take half of one.
Yeah, but from what I understand, these people that are regular weed smokers that are,
it's knocking them out.
It is very similar. They're eating gummies. They're getting the same effects as regular gummies. They're smoking pens that it's a very similar high.
Okay, where has this loophole been? Why is this so new then?
I don't know, but it's hot, and I'm afraid it's too hot to where it's going to be like synthetic weed that gets sold at the counter at the convenience store, and it turns into some fucking murder drug that people start dying from.
Well, I expect that the Texas legislature puts an end to this loophole almost immediately. We're going to be a last 5 state on legalization.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, which makes no sense because Texans claim that they, I feel like Texas R's claim to be more libertarian than anything. And, well, if you were, you'd let people grow, smoke, and sell weed and tax it and do something productive with the money. But no,
No,
not the case. It's not going to happen. And I'll stop there.
All right.
Last question here. Is Amiri a brand that has failed to adjust cycle to cycle? Do you think you'll be in on it again? Short answer, yeah, kinda. I do think that. But I'm also not out on it. So I am still technically in. I think the difference between maybe now and a couple years ago or 3 seasons ago is I felt I really liked most of what they were doing then, and now I like a slice of what they're doing. But I do kind of agree with they definitely have not tried to change lanes at all. And the stuff is still like really kind of like wild and graphic heavy, and not all of that works super well at the moment. And what that piece of it has been pushing me into thinking is like, man, we call Chrome Hearts the new like Christian Audige Ed Hardy, but I think it might actually be Amiri.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Just, I mean, because, I've got Essence pulled up here. You look at the stuff like this.
Yeah, right.
That's not aging well, man. That doesn't even look good today.
No.
I've got the tactical cargo jeans pulled up, which is a camp pocketed, cinch hemmed, like super stone washed out cargo jean. It's bad. It's not good. Some of the really like louder graphics, like this type of stuff, like it even kind of looks like Ed Hardy in a way. So I get that sense, and I do agree with the fact that that he really hasn't changed lanes too much. At the same time, bandana basketball shorts, I think those are tight. I think still does great flannels. I still like a lot of the hoodies and crews. Their tie-dye work is nice. the scale top lows are sick. So there's definitely stuff that and what he puts down the runway is usually really forward. And I know that whatever the most recent show was, like, had bootleg jeans and wider cuts and wasn't so intent on like the super ripped up skinnies, which feel very dated at this point, like these rainbow patch jeans. So,
did you see the John Elliott shorts as macro dose and the micro dose? I love looking at those. I feel like I could never pull those off, and very few people could.
Yeah, so John does the game short, which has like the basketball style piping on them.
Yeah.
And then he does the practice short, which is just like a printed mesh short. I kind of wish those had been just a printed mesh short. I feel like the basketball piping on them takes them to a kind of a weird place, which adds to that difficulty of pulling off. But Amiri is an interesting one, because I do like. Yeah, Mike is just very, very committed to this particular genre, whatever we're calling this now, and there seems to be some attempt to kind of like adapt and change, but also a lot of just sticking with what he does, and I will be interested to see where Amiri is in a few years, because I don't think that all of this stuff is going to age very well. A good 50% of it. This botanical leaves print on the cam collar though, with matching shorts, like, again, love that. That's very cool. So if I was super wealthy and going on to Tulum this summer and just had
now, would you get the matching set?
Oh, hell yeah.
You would?
Yeah. And then I'm carrying this weekender with me. God, maybe even throw on this crochet bucket.
Now you're doing it.
But yeah, so it's the, I don't know what to call it. It's like it's the rock starry stuff that's, I think it's time to move on from, and lean into the just more like kind of California trippiness that he seems to play with as well.
Like, all right, Phil. Stuff.
Which stuff?
The trippy. These, yeah.
Healthy body, healthy mind?
Yeah, I just like that. I like the bubble letters.
I do too. That's like some big like fuzzy applique stitched on there. That's cool. So yeah, it's just hit or miss for me right now. That's my take.
Okay.
Yeah.
Randy, you got anything? All right.
Randy will
shake at the head.
We'll see you in Tulum. All right, that wraps it up for us today. Thank you all for listening. Phil, thank you so much for being back. We even went long today. Extra special little lengthy episode for everybody. And we'll be back soon. I think we might get Bilal back on here to talk 2021 watches with us in the next week or two. So stay tuned for that. And thanks to Headspace, our lovely sponsor today. Check them out as well. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Welcome to the club.